how weird was it not being out there on Monday? Did you watch, like, were you pacing around your living room? Just like, what was that
Yeah,
experience like for you?
it's been a while since I hadn't played in a game. So yeah, it was a little bit awkward. Um, trying to tune in from home and not even being able to be around anybody. So watching it kind of in isolation was a little different. But and then obviously, you kind of feel helpless a little bit as you watch what takes part. But that's just part of the game. So many players are experiencing that. Um, this year, a lot of guys obviously on our team, but yeah, definitely something that I hadn't been used to.
AD, Malcolm, how significantly different are they offensively now than they were, in week two? I mean, every team changes, personnel or injuries or whatever. Are they significantly different offensively?
I believe so. I think when you watch when Darnold's in there and when you got Cam Newton there, it's the same offense in general, but there's a lot more runs that are predicated to Cam and his style. So you got the quarterback power. It's a lot more the zone read, the QB keep runs that you got to be really paying attention for in those critical yards or third downs and shorts and in the red zone. Some of those things don't show up with other quarterback in there. So and we're sure we're going to probably see both of them at some point in the game, or at least we're preparing to. So you got to be able to kind of turn the page depending on who the quarterback is and what plays are up and available. But I think you have seen them develop a little bit different personality than when we saw them early in the year.
Nick?
This is kind of a dumb question because the answer is kind of obvious, but I just like to hear your thoughts on it. Just what is Marcus Williams' impact on a secondary?
Man, I think to me when I watch him on tape, he's got more range probably than anybody in this league. We're talking about just being able to erase deep balls that between the numbers on the deep part of the field. So the range is something that we miss. He's a great communicator, gets guys lined up, tackles well out of split safety. So we ask our safeties to do a lot out of split safety, being able to show up and run support, but also be able to erase deep passes in the back end, and he's got that down pack. So obviously missing him is a big part of what we do.
Amy?
What was your impression of PJ filling in for you last week?
Yeah, I think PJ is a guy that we rely on to be versatile. He's that guy. He's the next up at almost every position, whether it's corner or the nickel, the dime, strong safety, free safety. We really ask him to know it all. And I've been that guy in my career, almost every place I've been, having to understand and learn multiple positions. And it's not an easy thing to do. So to see him step in and really play well. He's been playing well all year. But to have to kind of bounce around in secondary and still be productive no matter where you are on the field is something that's special. And I think PJ's him elevating his plays obviously been a big reason why we've been able to be consistent throughout the year, even when we got guys like myself out or Marcus Williams out.
Rod Walker?
Hey, Malcolm, I was actually going to ask kind of the same thing, but just how hard is that to do what PJ did, what he was able to do?
Yeah, I mean it's difficult, but it comes down to your preparation, your maturity as a player and with the game, and then being able to compartmentalize, the game plan. One play, your first down you're playing strong safety. Third down you might be at the nickel or you might be at free safety, and the angles, the communication, the caveats within the defense are all different. So to do that, you have to really have a solid understanding of the entire game plan. And it wasn't a dumbed down, game plan. It was, the same stuff that we like to roll out every week. And so that bandwidth gets pretty full on some players, but obviously PJ's been in this role now for a couple of years, and I think is really starting to step into his own as a player, making a ton of production on the football. A great tackler has always been, and now being able to bounce around, I think it's just we say it all the time in this league, the more you can do, the longer you stay around. That's a big reason why PJ's been around here.
Luke?
Hey, Malcolm, I'm not trying to call you old or anything, but I know it's been a long time since you've been a rookie. I'm just curious what you think of how difficult it is for somebody like Paulson Adebo to step in as a rookie facing NFL receivers, taking that jump, and how you think he's kind of developed as years going on.
Yeah, I mean, when he came in, we saw immediately he's got a mature spirit to him. The game doesn't seem fast. It doesn't seem, too much for him. He's still learning. He'll make a mistake here or there, but different than I can even remember my rookie year trying to play corner. It's not easy, and your confidence is one of those things that's usually hard to maintain over a season that's now double the length of what you're used to in college. But he's been consistent. His routine, his practice habits, his attentiveness in the meetings, and then his ability to continue to get better as the week goes on, or as the weeks go on, has really been impressive for him to be such a young player. I think that's obviously, hats off to the coaching staff, to some of the leaders in the room, but really for Debo, because you see a lot of rookies get lost in the process, get lost in the longevity of the season, and aren't able to be as consistent. And he's somebody who's been, I think it's a stable piece of what we're doing on defense.
And does it matter to you where your wins and losses happen? I mean, you guys are 7-8 right now, but a lot of those losses have come at the Dome. Does that matter to you at all?
Well, it's nothing we can do about it right now. But I think, stepping out to, when you zoom out of the season, you usually want to play well at home. And even if you split on the road, you're looking probably at 10 wins at that point, 10, 11 wins. So we're not used to not playing great at home. But at this point in the season, you're going to do whatever it's all behind us. You got to do whatever you got to do to get the win this week. So it really doesn't matter at this moment, but obviously we want to play well at home.
Yeah, I guess I was just thinking about that, like in terms of like missed opportunity or whatever, because y'all are usually pretty good there.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's games where we probably, you look on paper and say we shouldn't have won, that we won, and there's games where we felt like we should have won and didn't. That's just how the season, plays out. And again, where we are right now, we're not at the luxury to be able to nitpick what has taken place and transpired up until this point. We only have the opportunity of this game in front of us, and if we want to have an opportunity of playing into the postseason.
Gotcha. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Got time for a couple more. Amy?
Yeah, circling back to my first question, just when you tested positive last week, were you feeling okay? Some guys said that they were having symptoms of, various severity.
Yeah, I actually self-tested just because I wanted to, make sure. I know COVID was going around, so I voluntarily tested and tested positive, and then I started developing symptoms pretty soon thereafter. So yeah, I know there was a few guys that had some symptoms. I was one of them.
Last one here, Nick.
Malcolm, how did you feel like DA handled that spot role as the head coach, and just what are some of the things that stand out about him for you being here before and then coming back and seeing how he's developed since then?
Yeah. When I was here before, he was the DB coach, but even then you saw that he had a mind of a coordinator. And he went on to be a head coach himself, so he's been in these situations, and you can tell that he was prepared, to step into it. It wasn't just your average kind of off or replacement. Your head coach gets fired or something like that where you step in. It's not only are you missing your coach, you're missing players, and to be able to do it all kind of with the chaos and the things happening during the week, having to adjust the game plan and keep the team together, keep the team focused. I thought it was great playing like they did in Tampa, and even last week, I thought guys, for as crazy as the week was, were prepared to go into the game and play as best they could. But I think his leadership was a big part of that.